Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 38 of Daily Bread. We'll be reading from Genesis 48, Judges 20, Psalms 48, Proverbs 7, and Mark 7. We'll be reading out of the scriptures, the 2009 version. Genesis chapter 48 on page 54. And after these events, it came to be that it was said to Joseph, "See, your father is sick." And he took him his two sons, Meashsheh and Ephraim. And Jacob was told, "See, your son Joseph is coming to you." And Israel strengthened himself and sat up in bed. And Jacob said to Joseph, El Shaddai appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me, and said to me, "See, I am making you fruitful, and shall increase you, and make you an assembly of people, and give this land to your seed after you an everlasting possession." And now your two sons, Ephraim and Meashsheh, who were born to you in the land of Mitzrayim before I came to you in Mitzrayim, are mine. As Reuben and Shimon are mine. Your offspring, whom you shall bring forth after them, are yours, and let them be called by the name of the brothers in their inheritance. And I, when I came to Padamon, Rachel died beside me in the land of Canaan on the way, when there was but a little distance to go to Ephrath. And I buried her there on the way to Ephrath, that is in Bethlehem. And Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, "Who are these?" And Joseph said to his fathers, "They are my sons, whom Elohim has given to me in this place." And he said, Jacob said, "Please bring them to me, and let me bless them." And the eyes of Israel, Jacob, were dim with age, and he was unable to see. And he drew them near, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, "I had not thought to see your face, but see, Elohim has also shown me your seed." So Joseph brought them from between his knees and bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim with his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Meashsheh with his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near. And Israel, Jacob, stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was younger, and his left hand on Meashsheh's head, consciously directing his hand, for Meashsheh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, "These, the Elohim before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the Elohim who has fed me all my life long to this day, the messenger who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the use, and let my name be called upon them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them increase in a multitude in the midst of the earth." And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it was evil in his eyes. And he took hold of his father's hand to remove it, and to the head of Ephraim, to the head of Meashsheh. And Joseph said to his father, Not so, my father, for this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. But his father refused and said, I know, my son, I know. He also becomes a people, and also is great. And yet his younger brother is greater than he, and his seed is to become the completeness of the nations. And he blessed him on that day, saying, In you Israel shall bless, saying, Elohim make you as Ephraim and as Meashsheh. Thus he put Ephraim before Meashsheh. And Israel said to Joseph, See, I am dying, but Elohim shall be with you, and bring you back to the land of your fathers. And I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took from the land of the Amorite, with my sword and with my bow. Judges 20, page 276. And the children of Israel came out from Dan to Beersheba, and from the land of Gilead. And the congregation assembled as one man before Yahweh at Mizpah. And the leaders of all the people and all the tribes of Israel presented themselves in the assembly of the people of Elohim, 400,000 foot soldiers who drew the sword. And the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel had gone up to Mizpah, and the children of Israel said, Speak up. How did this evil come about? And the man, the Levite, husband of the woman who was murdered, answered and said, My concubine and I went into Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin, to spend the night. And the masters of Gibeah rose against me and surrounded the house at night because of me. They thought to kill me, but instead they humbled my concubine, and she died. Then I took my concubine and cut her into pieces, and sent her throughout all the land of the inheritance of Israel, because they committed wickedness and folly in Israel. Look, you are all children of Israel. Speak and give your counsel here. And all these people rose as one man, saying, Let not one of us go to his tent, nor any of us turn back to his house. And now, this is what we do to Gibeah. Go against it by lot. We shall take 10 men out of every 100,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and 100 out of every 1,000, and 1,000 out of every 10,000, to make food for the people, to prepare for their going to Gibeah and Benjamin, for all the folly they did in Israel. And all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. And the tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, What is the evil that has come about you, among you? What is the evil that has come about you, among you? And now give us the men, the sons of Belial, who were in Gibeah, so that we put them to death, and put away evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not listen to the voice of their brothers and the children of Israel. So the children of Benjamin gathered together from their cities to Gibeah to go to battle against the children of Israel. And from their cities at that time, the children of Benjamin registered 26,000 men who drew the sword, besides the inhabitants of Gibeah, who registered 700 chosen men. Among all this people, there were 700 chosen men who were left-handed. Each one could sling a stone at a hair's breadth and not miss. And besides Benjamin, the men of Israel registered 400,000 men who drew the sword. All these were men of battle. And the children of Israel rose and went up to Bethel, to ask of Elohim, and they said, who of us go up first to battle against the children of Benjamin? And Yeshua said, Judah first. And the children of Israel rose in the morning and encamped against Gibeon. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin. And the men of Israel put themselves in battle array to fight against them at Gibeon. And the children of Benjamin came out to Gibeon, and on that day cut down to the ground 22,000 men of Israel. But the people, the men of Israel, strengthened themselves and again formed the battle line at the place where they had put themselves in array on the first day. And the children of Israel went up and wept before Yahweh until evening, and asked Yahweh, saying, should I again draw near for battle against the children of my brother Benjamin? And Yahweh said, go up against them. And the children of Israel drew near to the children of Benjamin on the second day, and Benjamin went out against them to Gibeon on the second day, and cut down to the ground 18,000 more of the children of Israel. All these drew the sword. And the children of Israel, even all the people, went up and came to Bethel, and wept and sat there before Yahweh, and fasted that day until evening. And they offered ascending offering and peace offering before Yahweh. And the children of Israel asked of Yahweh. The ark of the covenant of Elohim was there in those days. And Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, should I yet again go out to battle against the children of my brother Benjamin, or should I cease? And Yahweh said, go up, for tomorrow I give them into your hand. And Israel set ambushers all around Gibeon. And the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day, and put themselves in battle array against Gibeon at the other times. And the children of Benjamin came out to meet the people. Drawn away from the city, they began to strike some of the people, slain at the other times in the highways, of which one went to Bethel, and the others to Gibeon in the field, about 30 men of Israel. And the children of Benjamin said, they are going to be smited before us, as previously. But the children of Israel said, let us flee and draw them away from the city to the highways. And all the men of Israel rose from their place and put themselves in battle array at Baal Tamar. And the ambush of Israel broke forth from their position at Mer-Gabah. And 10,000 chosen men from all Israel came against Gibeon, and the battle was fierce. But they did not know that calamity was close to them. And Yahweh smote Benjamin before Israel. And the children of Israel destroyed 25,100 men on that day in Benjamin. All these drew the sword. And the children of Benjamin saw that they were smitten. And the men of Israel had given ground to the Benjamins because they trusted in the ambush that they had set against Gibeon. And the ambush hurried and came against Gibeon, and the ambush spread out and struck the entire city with the edge of the sword. And the appointed signal between the men of Israel and the ambush was that they would make a great cloud of smoke rise up from the city. Then the men of Israel would turn in battle, and Benjamin began to strike dead about 30 of the men of Israel. For they said, they are indeed smitten before us as the first battle. Then the cloud began to rise from the city in a column of smoke, and the Benjamites looked behind them and saw the entire city going up in smoke to the heavens. And when the men of Israel turned back, the men of Benjamin were troubled. So they saw that the calamity was close to them, and they turned their backs before the men of Israel toward the way of the wilderness. But the battle overtook them, while those who had come out of the cities were destroying them in the midst. They surrounded the Benjamites and pursued them, and with ease trampled them down as far as the front of Gibeon toward the east. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were mighty men. And they turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon. And they cut down 5,000 of them on the highways, and followed after them up to Gibeon, and struck 2,000 of them. And all who fell in Benjamin that day were 25,000 men who drew the sword. All of these were mighty men. But 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, and they dwelt at the rock of Rimmon for 4 new moons. And the men of Israel turned back against the children of Benjamin, and struck them with the edge of the sword from every city, men and beasts, all who were found. And they set fire to all the cities that came to be. And the Judges 20. Psalms 48, page 673. Great is Yahweh, and greatly to be praised, in the city of our Elohim, his set-apart mountain, beautiful and high. The joy of all the earth is Mount Zion on the sides of the north, the city of the great sovereign. Elohim is in her citadels. He is known as her refuge. For look, the sovereigns met. They passed by together. They saw, so they marveled. They were alarmed. They hastened away. Trembling took hold of them there. Pain, as a woman in labor. With an east wind, you break the ships of Tarshish. As we have heard, so we have seen. In the city of Yahweh of hosts, in the city of our Elohim, Elohim establishes her forever, Salah. We have thought, O Elohim, of your loving commitment, in the midst of your hekel, according to your name, O Elohim. So is your praise to the ends of the earth, and your right hand is filled with righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice, let the daughters of Judah exult, because of your right rulings. Walk about Zion, and go all around her. Count her towers. Set your heart upon her rampart. Go through her citadels, so that you report it to the coming generation. For this Elohim is our Elohim forever and ever. He himself leads us even to death. Proverbs 7 on page 735. My son, guard my words and treasure up my commands with you. Guard my commands and live, and my Torah as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister. Call on understanding a close friend, to guard you against a strange woman, against a foreigner who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and I saw the simple. I perceived among the youths a young man lacking heart, passing through the street near her corner. And he went the way to her house, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And look, a woman met him, dressed like a whore with a hidden heart. She was boisterous and stubborn. Her feet did not stay at her own house. Now in the time, now in the square, now in the street, now in the square, and at every corner she lurks. And she took hold of him and kissed him. She hardened her face and said to him, Slaughterings of peace offerings are with me. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I came out to meet you, to earnestly seek your face, and I found you. I have spread my bed with coverings, colored linens of mistram. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of carnal love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took a bag of silver with him. He comes home on the day of covering. With her many words she leads him astray. With her smooth lips she seduces him. He goes after her immediately. Like an ox he goes to the slaughter, and as in chains a fool to punishment, till an arrow strikes through his liver, like a bird rushing into a snare, and did not know it would take his life. And now, listen to me, you children. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not go astray in her paths. For many are the wounded she has caused to fall, and numerous all her killed ones. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the rooms of death. Gospel of Mark on page 965. And the Pharisees and some of the scribes assembled to him, having come from Jerusalem, and seen some of his taught ones eat bread with defiled, that is, with unwashed hands, they found fault. And the Pharisees and all the Judean did not eat unless they washed their hands thoroughly, holding fast the tradition of the elders. And coming from the marketplace, they did not eat unless they wash. And there are many other traditions which they had received and hold fast: the washing of cups and utensils and copper vessels and couches. When the Pharisees and scribes asked him, Why do your taught ones not walk according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? They should be washing their hands. And he answering said to them, Well, did Joshua prophesy concerning you hypocrites, as it has been written, This people respect me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And in vain do not worship me teaching as teaching the commands of men. Joshua 29:13. Forsaking the commands of Elohim, you hold fast the traditions of men. And he said to them, Well, do you set aside the command of Elohim in order to guard your tradition? For Meashsheh said, Respect your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. But you say, if a man says to his father or mother, Whatever profit you might have received from me in Koban, that is a gift, you no longer let him do any matter at all for his father or mother, nullifying the word of Elohim through your tradition, which you have handed down. And many such traditions you do. And calling the crowd to him, he said to them, Hear me, everyone, and understand. There is no matter that enters a man from outside, which is unable to defile him, but is what comes out of him that defiles him. If a man has ears to hear, let him hear. And he went from the crowd into the house. And his taught ones asked him concerning the parable. And he said to them, Are you also without understanding? Do you not perceive that whatever enters a man from the outside is unable to defile him? Because it does not enter his heart, but his stomach, and is eliminated, thus purging all the foods. And he said, what comes out of a man that defiles him from within, out of the heart of men, proceeding evil reasonings, adulteries, whoring, murders, thefts, greedy desires, wickedness, deceit, indecency, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these wicked matters come from within and defile the man. And raising up from there, he went to the borders of Sur and Sidon. And entering into a house, he wished no one to know it, but it was impossible to be hidden. For a woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him, and she came and fell at his feet. Now the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by birth, and she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her. And Yeshua said to her, let the children be satisfied first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. But she answering said to him, yes, master, for even the little dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. And he said to her, because of this word, go, the demon has gone out of your daughter. And having come into her house, she found the demon gone out, and her daughter lying on the bed. And again, going out of the borders of Sur and Sidon, he came to the Sea of Galilee, through the midst of the border of Decapolis. And they brought to him one who was deaf, and spoke with difficulty. And they begged him to lay his hand upon him. And taking him away from the crowd, he put his fingers in his ears, having spit. He touched his tongue, and looking up to the heaven, he sighed and said to him, Ephaph, that is, to be opened. And immediately his ears opened, and the binding of his tongue was loosened, and he was speaking plainly. And he ordered them that they should say to no one. But the more he ordered them, the more they published it. And they were immeasurably astonished, saying, he has done all well. He makes even the deaf to hear and the dumb to speak. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.